Hello viewers, you're watching Open Horn of Africa, our special edition. I'm Tamaska Mulatu. Today I'm joined by His Excellency Wenderson Girma from Diaspora Service. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Wenderson.
Thank you for inviting me.
Would you tell us about your background and your name, please?
Thank you very much. My name is Wenderson Girma, the Communication Director of Ethiopian Diaspora Service.
Thank you. To begin with, what is the current Ethiopian diaspora policy? What is the value does the government attach to the Ethiopian diaspora community?
Thank you very much again. It was a very nice question to begin with. As you might know, Ethiopia is one of the African countries that has got its own diaspora policy. We have been having Ethiopian diaspora policy for the past over 10 years. And Ethiopian diaspora policy basically talks about a couple of things. One of them is about building a relationship between the diaspora and the homeland. The other element of Ethiopian diaspora policy is encouraging the diaspora to participate in different development activities of the country. And probably one of the objectives of the Ethiopian diaspora policy is preserving or protecting the rights of Ethiopian diaspora. So we can say Ethiopian diaspora policy has got the three objectives, as I mentioned above. Ethiopia attaches a lot to its diaspora. We believe that our diaspora is one of our growth engines. As you might know, Ethiopia has taken its population as one of its growth engines, as our diaspora is one of our growth options that lives outside of Ethiopia. It is considered to be one of the motors that moves the economy of the country. So the country believes and works according to this principle.
Thank you. Would you tell us about the diaspora, Ethiopian Diaspora Service? What does it work?
Well, Ethiopian Diaspora Service is an institution established some 5 years back, right after the coming of power of the reform government led by His Excellency Prime Minister Dr. Abiy. So ever since it has been established, our organization has been working a lot to get whatever the diaspora has for the country. So when Ethiopian Diaspora Service was established 5 years ago, it was given two mandates, basically. The first one was implementing, as I mentioned earlier, the Ethiopian Diaspora Policy, those objectives, the objectives mentioned in the Ethiopian Diaspora Policy. And the other one is protecting the rights of Ethiopian by working in collaboration with pertinent government bodies. So Ethiopian Diaspora Service can be described as it is an institution that works with the diaspora so that diaspora capitals come home. Or in a different way I can put it, Ethiopian Diaspora Service acts as a bridge between the home and the diaspora. As I mentioned in the first question, the diaspora has got its own potential. The diaspora has got knowledge, skill transfer, and technology capital. The diaspora has got investment capital. The diaspora has got social capital. Remittance can be remitted by the diaspora. Public diplomacy and advocacy is another capital of the diaspora. So in order to get those capitals to the country, Ethiopian Diaspora Service acts as a bridge between the diaspora and the home.
Thank you. What role is the diaspora playing in connecting the diaspora community to Ethiopia? And do you have the direct platform where you encourage with the diaspora?
Yes, yeah. As I mentioned earlier, that's our sole objective, creating a platform where the diaspora gets favorable conditions to work in the country. So I have mentioned earlier that we are a bridge. We are serving as a bridge between the diaspora and the home. So we have a number of platforms to facilitate this. The first thing, our first platform I would call is the Ethiopian missions abroad. We have over 30 Ethiopian missions that we work together. We say Ethiopian missions abroad are our long arms to reach the diaspora. As you know, Ethiopian diaspora live all over the world. So our office is here in Ethiopia. So in order to access the diaspora, we need to make use of Ethiopian missions abroad. So we are working very closely with selected more than 30 Ethiopian missions abroad, Ethiopian embassies and consulates. So we have diaspora diplomats. Those diaspora diplomats, along with the mission heads, what they do is every year we have a plan. The plans target to fulfill the diaspora options I mentioned earlier. For example, Ethiopia requires skill, knowledge, and technology transfer from the diaspora. Ethiopia requires remittances from the diaspora. Ethiopia requires social aspects and the economic aspects from the diaspora. So in our plans, we prepare based on those options. So we prepare the plans and we send to the missions. So the missions take those plans and plan according to their context. So for example, if we have a plan of mobilizing resources for Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, one mission may have to collect $10 million based on the number of diaspora living there. Another mission may take mobilizing $1 million. So we prepare a plan and cascade the missions cascaded based on their contexts. Therefore, one of our platforms is Ethiopian missions. So we address our diaspora through our Ethiopian missions abroad. One. The other platform we engage the diaspora is diaspora associations. Every year, we support and establish quite a number of diaspora organizations. Basically, on average, there are over 200 Ethiopian diaspora associations supported by our office along with Ethiopian missions abroad. So our long arm that helps us reach the diaspora is diaspora associations, because the diaspora associations have got members in them. So we access the diaspora associations. Through the diaspora associations, we access individual diasporas. The other platform we access our diaspora is the different mechanisms. As a matter of fact, we are using the Zoom technology to conduct this interview. We are using the Zoom technology likewise with our engagement with the diaspora. We frequently hold Zoom conferences. We invite different government officials, and they present whatever the government has as a plan and whatever the diaspora has got as a concern. So we create a platform where the diaspora presents his requests to the government officials, and the government officials, they answer the questions, and they also present what plans the government has for the country as a whole and the diaspora in particular. So the technology, particularly the Zoom technology, is one platform we access the diaspora. Another technology we are frequently using, or we are using every second of the day, is the WhatsApp platform. We have over 10 different WhatsApp groups. As I mentioned earlier, we have one group dedicated for Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. We have a different WhatsApp platform for the mobilization of resources for X cause that is created in Ethiopia. So whenever a cause is created in Ethiopia, we prepare a platform. So we have different platforms where we can meet with the diaspora, where we can share information with the diaspora every second of the day. So we have all those formats. And we have also another mechanism to engage the diaspora, that is outreach. Actually, we have two kinds of outreaches. One outreach is conducted from home base, from here, from Ethiopia to where the diaspora is. The other one is an outreach conducted by the missions themselves. As you might know, Ethiopian missions are located in a certain country. So the diaspora is located in that country, but different cities or regions. So the missions, they go out and reach the diaspora within the country they are assigned, or outside of the country where they are delegated to. So Ethiopian missions conduct different outreaches. And if it is not happening often, we conduct a year or twice an outreach from home, from Ethiopia, from here. Most of the time, we have government officials and different stakeholders. They go to places where there are large number of diasporas. So they sit down, they discuss whatever the government has a plan, and the diaspora raise whatever concerns they have, whatever the interest they have to participate in different aspects of the country. So outreach is another way of addressing or engaging the diaspora.
Appreciate it. Recently, Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed has made an official call to all second-generation people of Ethiopia and origin in the diaspora to come home and get connected with their origin. What is your reflection on this?
Yeah, sure. His Excellency the Prime Minister has made a call to the second generation. It is a follow-up call from the great Ethiopian homecoming, which was called some 2 years back, as you might remember. So we consider it as a follow-up call. Mm-hmm. As I mentioned in my first response, Ethiopia believes that the diaspora is a growth option. As you might know, and we also believe that the diaspora is a different polity. Like we have Ethiopians at home, so we have Ethiopians outside of Ethiopia. So we consider the diaspora as a polity. The polity in Ethiopia has got different segments, as you know. We have men, women, youth, the elderly, and blah, blah. So the same is true with the diaspora. Our diaspora has got different segments. So as you remember, 2 years back, we called the general diaspora. Now, this time around, we call the second generation. So my reflection is that this is a follow-up call from the first call that was made some 2 years back. And it is a call actually conducted by different countries. Countries call their diaspora based on different segments, like age-wise, academic status, economic status, and the likes. So we are joining the global community by calling our diaspora this time around the second generation that went out when they were very small kids or they were born outside of Ethiopia.
Such a call to the diaspora from an Ethiopian government is first in Ethiopian history. So what will be the impact of this call in connecting the diaspora to its roots?
Sure. As I said, it's a call made to a segment of the diaspora, that is a second generation. Mm-hmm. And as you know from the motto, it says back to your origins. So a country is built by successive generations' efforts. Subsequent generations have got their own roles. Ethiopia is built by the efforts of subsequent generations that have put their efforts on the development of the social-political situation of the country. So as we understand, the second generation may not have that much information about the country. So this call was basically made to connect them with their roots. So they have to come to their country. They have to see what their country looks like. They have to learn their history. They have to learn their culture, particularly the multicultural nature of their country, and how Ethiopia was built by the sacrifices of our forefathers. So when they live in the countries, the host countries, they might have heard many different conflicting information about Ethiopia. So the call provides a chance to see by themselves and to take part in the transformation of Ethiopia by conducting different activities. I think will come in the next couple of questions, I think, what those calls have to offer. As you remember, the Prime Minister made a call of three phases. The first phase has got a theme, connect to your multi-cultural roots, which runs between December and February 2024, which has been completed. The second phase has got a theme, connect to your historical roots, running between February to May 2024. And the third phase goes between June to September 2024 and has a theme, live your legacy, savo your holiday. So all of them, if you look at their themes, they have got something to do with connecting them with Ethiopia. They connect with their country, they learn their culture, they learn their history, and they are supposed to put their legacy as well. Particularly the last call calls for them to leave their own legacy. One very important event is the tree planting, which Ethiopia has championed it. We have planted billions of trees. So when the second generation come during the summertime, they are going to participate and leave their legacy, and they will talk proudly that I have a place in that historical moment. So the basic idea is to connect the second generation with the homeland, because they have been away, they have been hearing information about their country from third parties. But this time around, they come home, they see it for themselves, they observe, they touch, they feel, they taste, they do whatever they like in their country, and they will take part. They are part and parcel of Ethiopia. Even though they are living outside of their country of origin, they are Ethiopians, they have a role to play. They have a country that has got huge historical significance, particularly during the Battle of Adwa, what our forefathers and foremothers did, how Ethiopia championed Pan-Africanism, and how Ethiopia helped the establishment of the OAU, now the African Union, and the likes. So when they come home, they learn a lot about Ethiopian history, Ethiopian culture, and they connect themselves with their country of origin.
Thank you. What should be the role of Ethiopian embassies in various parts of the world in closely working with diaspora and facilitating this trip or the homecoming of the diaspora community?
Yeah, as I told you earlier, our missions abroad are our long arms with the diaspora, without whom it would have been very, very difficult to access our diaspora. So it's their job. They have been doing it a lot. Both in the first Great Ethiopian Homecoming, they had done a great job. During these consecutive calls, they are also doing a lot. You might have seen on the news outlets, preparing the second generation to come home. They have been preparing different parties in their missions. They registering the second generation and calling them. I remember a couple of events happening, for example, in our mission in Germany, Berlin, and some other missions as well. So what they do is they notify the second generation and their parents that Ethiopia is holding a homecoming call for the second generation, and they tell them that the purpose of the call, and they get them together, and they register them, then they facilitate whatever is going to happen here. So they are helping us a lot for the success of the first part that had concluded just recently. They have been helping us a lot, and they are doing the same.
Thank you. The call of the second generation diaspora was planned in 3 phases. What the rationale behind this calling or the phases?
Yeah, if you have looked at the themes, the first one has got something to do with cultural roots. The second one has got historical roots. The third one has got leaving a legacy. So the first one, as Ethiopia is a multicultural country, we have over 80 nations and nationalities, which have their own unique features. So when the the second generation Ethiopians come home, they are going to witness how multicultural their country is. We are multicultural, and we are also one nation. Now, we are striving to build a nation which has multicultural roots, and a country aspiring to be a country that shows its potentials to the wider world. So when the first part has got much to do with their cultural connections, cultural connectivity. The second one has got something to do with historical issues, the historical roots. I mentioned in the previous question, I remember. So Ethiopia has got a lot to tell about its history. If you take, for example, the Battle of Adwa, it's a game changer, not only for Africans, but for any oppressed people. Ethiopians have shown the beacon. So our forefathers, our foremothers, they fought against a common enemy. In that, all the time, Ethiopia is, I would say, the only ancient and uncolonized country in the world. So this did not happen for easy. It is due to the dear sacrifices of Ethiopians from all walks of life, from north, south, west, east. Everybody has taken a part in getting the Ethiopia today. So when they come home, they learn that their country has got a history which they have heard it from afar. Now, when they come, they will witness it themselves. The recently inaugurated Adwa Museum is one, and there are also so many historical places in Ethiopia, wherever you go, north, south, east, west. So they will get a chance to witness those historical places. Their connection with their country will be strengthened, and they will be diplomats. When they get back home, they will tell people what they have seen. So the second one is about the historical connectivity. The third one is about leaving a legacy. So it's not only witnessing Ethiopian culture, Ethiopian history, but walking the walk. They have seen, they have tasted, they have realized, they have witnessed everything. So this time around, the third call is all about leaving their own legacy, not only planting trees, but they are supposed to help the elderly. They are supposed to build houses for the elderly, support displaced people, and the likes. So they are going to feel that I have a place in the development of my country. I have contributed my share, and I will contribute more. They will say, I will contribute more, because when they come and see, they would come to know that, oh, there is a lot to do in Ethiopia. A lot has been done. Still, a lot remains to be done. In that case, I have got my contribution. They will take an assignment. When they get back home, they will take an assignment, whatever they have to do for their homeland. It could be in terms of knowledge, skill, and technology transfer. It could be in terms of investment. It could be in public diplomacy and advocacy and the likes. So the whole idea is connecting the youth with its roots. They have got a country with a huge history, a diverse culture, a huge potential to grow. So when they are called home, they are called to witness all the strengths and the possible potential Ethiopia has, and what they can help to solve those problems, how they can be solutions to the problems. So that's the rationale behind the calls.
Interesting. How do you see the reaction so far in every aspect of? You can take as an example the growth of the country, the population, and the governing system itself. How do you see the reaction on this?
I think I wouldn't express it more than you guys, the media guys, tell this, because I have seen so many second generation diaspora being interviewed on different media channels. So they were very happy. They have been telling their experiences, their expectations, saying whatever they have seen. So the experience was very much interesting, as I have heard them telling. They have seen things which they did not expect, particularly when they have visited the Adwa Memorial Museum. They were perplexed. They did not expect such a complex structure in the capital. They have been actually, when the call was made, particularly in the first phase, it was not only in Addis Ababa that we had events. We had events across the country. As you might have seen, the Redwa administration had got its own, the Oromia the same. I have seen Harari. They have got their own events so that the diaspora get connected with the home where they originate. It could be in the regions or in the capitals. So it has, the emotions were very high. They were very happy. And they have told us that it should not be a one-time event. It should be repeated. We should be given a chance to learn from the elderly, from the country, from the history. So the chance should be repeated. And they have told us that it should not be a one-time opportunity or chance.
Great. Following the second generation of diaspora are coming home, how do you see the reception being made for their arrival?
Homecomings, we are experiencing how to handle homecomings, starting from the great homecomings that we had some 2 years back. What we did this time around is the same. A national committee comprising different stakeholders was established. It was led by the Ministry of Tourism, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is the deputy chair, and Ethiopian Diaspora Service is secretary, and there are other stakeholders in the committee. So the first thing right after the Prime Minister announced the call was establishing the National Committee. This National Committee has set a number of activities to be undertaken. One of the biggest activities, I would say, was the reception, the official reception held at the Bole International Airport. You might have seen that program, and you must have shared the emotion, how they felt when they were received by higher government officials, including Her Excellency the Ministry of Tourism and other high government officials. So the second generation diaspora, they were very happy during the reception. Not only a reception program, there was inauguration program, both in Addis and in the regions. There was a great inauguration program here in Addis Ababa. It was conducted by the Ministry of Tourism and the Addis Ababa City Administration, and senior government officials, including the mayor of Addis Ababa, were present, and the diaspora, second generation diaspora members. This is the second one. The third one, other than the reception and the inauguration, there were subsequent events that helped the diaspora learn about the country. Particularly, the first one was about cultural roots. So they were in Addis. They were taken to different places. Particularly, they were taken to the Shakla Asra, the pottery place. They have seen how pottery is made there. They have visited museums. They have seen Ethiopian culture in the regions as well. They had a chance to learn more about the multicultural nature of Ethiopia. So when they have come to Ethiopia, there was a committee established. The committee had got different activities to be undertaken. The activities have been undertaken accordingly.
Okay. Is there any other mechanisms to monitor their arrivals, getting required services from relevant agencies and offices?
Sure. One of the things the committee do, particularly the Ministry of Tourism was entitled to do was arranging those amenities, particularly hotels, transportation, I mean Ethiopian Airlines, it had a reduction price for the fee. Hotels, the same, they provide reduction in their fees. So Ethiopian Tourism Ministry was responsible to provide those services and work along with service providers so that they can prepare the services in affordable price. So it was well undertaken.
That's great. What is the general impression of the arrivals about their country or country of birth? What do you recommend them to improve it?
The emotions were very high. They were very happy for whatever they have seen. And some of them have taken assignments. They have learned that a lot has been done and still a lot remains to be done. And they have also believed that they have a stake in solving whatever problems we have, in supporting whatever support the country needs. So they have liked the chance. They wanted to have it again and again. They want the chance to come now and then, not a one-time occurrence. And they also have seen Ethiopia's potential, Ethiopia's history, and they have promised to whatever they can when they get back home to be Ethiopia's ambassadors, cultural ambassadors, economic ambassadors, historical ambassadors, and the likes. So the chance the call has provided us was immense because it has called the second generation. Because the second generation can be unlike the first generation. The first generation, probably the fathers and the mothers, they have lived here quite a long time and they have moved there, but their children may not know as much as their parents know. Their information could be affected by the different media outlets they follow. So when they come here personally and when they see what is happening in Ethiopia, they were very happy. They have promised to do whatever they can do in the coming times. So it has provided them a chance to engage with their country, to take assignments and the likes.
Great. The third round of homecoming will take place from the time of the Ethiopian rainy season, began from 30th of September 2024, and the sub-generation diaspora will participate in the national annual tree planting season. What is the reflection on this?
Yeah, they had a chance there are two chances in which they can witness Ethiopian culture, Ethiopian history, the heroic deeds our forefathers and foremothers did to safeguard their country, how multicultural their country is. Now, this time around, particularly the third round, puts the boots on the ground. Now, they are going to do their level best. They are going to provide whatever they have for their country. So the third phase is attached with contributing either in kind or money-wise. So they are going to build houses for the elderly. They are going to support displaced people. They are going to conduct different kinds of activities which they require their practical involvement. So the third round provides them a chance to leave a legacy, not only in planting trees. Well, planting trees is one of the activities we are going to hold then, but not only planting trees. They are going to plant their legacy. They are going to put their boots on the ground, and they are going to, let me put it this way, they are going to walk the talk.
Thank you. Ethiopia just has a huge number of diaspora community. Do you think that Ethiopia is fairly benefiting from its diaspora community through remittance, knowledge, technology transfer, and the like.
Benefiting, no doubt about it. But the question is, are we benefiting in commensurate with the potential of the diaspora and the needs of the country? The answer will be capital no. Why I'm saying this? We have over 3 million Ethiopians outside of Ethiopia. I said that we are benefiting, no doubt, sure. Capital, sure. We are benefiting. Let me give you a number of pictures. Figures. For example, let me take remittance. You've said in the past 6 months, we have earned more than $2 billion from the remittance. In the past 5 years, we have earned over $20 billion through remittance. If you see this remittance, it is no less than what we get from foreign trade. So it shows that the diaspora is a huge potential of remittance. Are we benefiting remittance-wise? Sure, we are benefiting. But is it commensurate with our potential, the potential of the diaspora and the need of the country? No. So what do we have to do? We have to do a lot. We have to provide different platforms where the diaspora can send remittances easily, reducing the transaction cost and the likes. This is one. The other one is investment. The diaspora is participating a lot in the investment fields. Over the past 5 years, like I mentioned, there are over 500 diaspora projects that have invested over $30 billion and created a job opportunity for 14,000 citizens. This is not easy. The diaspora in Ethiopia, the diaspora investment in Ethiopia is one of the organizations or the entities hiring quite a number of people other than the government. If you take diaspora projects here and there, they could be next to the government. They are hiring quite a number of people as private enterprises. So is 500 the maximum potential we can make use of from the diaspora? No, we have to work a lot. We have to facilitate ways whenever the diaspora wants to invest, can access the land, can access the infrastructure, water, electricity, blah, blah, easily. So since we are a house in the making, we are building our country in all aspects of life, in all aspects. So when we get our assignments done, whenever we can provide those infrastructures easily, we can harness more from the diaspora investment. Likewise, we are getting a lot from knowledge, skill, and technology transfer. If I mention the past 5 years, there are over 600 Ethiopian diaspora individuals and associations participating in knowledge and skill transfer endeavors, where thousands of Ethiopians have benefited, Ethiopian individuals and organizations. I can mention how to write projects, how to run health institutions, how to prepare curriculum for example, third-degree students in different fields, sanitation, and the likes. So quite a number of lists can be mentioned here. So they are providing a lot in terms of knowledge and skill transfer. Is it the maximum capacity? No. We have to work a lot. We have to work hard. The conversation we are having with you is one way of telling the diaspora that we are yet to reach there. Mm-hmm. We are benefiting from the diaspora, no doubt about it. But considering the potential the diaspora has, considering the huge need the country has, we are yet to reach there.
Are there any conducive platforms to invite and engage the diaspora in the development of the country?
Sure. As I told you earlier, Ethiopian Diaspora Service is in Ethiopia. The diaspora is outside Ethiopia. So we need a platform that connects the diaspora with the home. So we are the bridge. As I told you earlier, we have Ethiopian missions abroad. We have Ethiopian Diaspora Associations abroad, one. When you come home, there are federal institutions, and there are regional and city administration, diaspora offices, diaspora coordinating offices. So these are our platforms. So whenever a diaspora wants to participate in the above mentioned activities, the capitals, that means if the diaspora wants to transfer knowledge and skill, if the diaspora wants to participate in investment activities and the likes. So these organizations I mentioned earlier work hand in glove. So whenever a diaspora wants to participate in economic activity, so the first access point is Ethiopian missions abroad. So if they go to the missions, they tell them what they want to do here in Ethiopia. So they write them a letter, they come to our office. So we evaluate their plans or their project, and we give them a piece of advice. Yeah. So this is a huge support. And we get them connected to the pertinent bodies, both here in the federal institutions and in the regions. So essentially, they go to the regions and the cities, because the projects have to be grounded. So they go there. When they go there, we give them a follow-up. Are they getting the service they're requiring? Are they getting the land? Are they getting the infrastructure and the likes? So we have the platform. All the bodies I told you, they meet quarterly. We have a quarterly meeting where we evaluate our achievements, our successes, and we also give recommendation on our failures or the setbacks we faced over the time. So there is a platform, we are working on it, and even we are trying to introduce new initiatives in this case. A team probably next week will be dispatched to the regions, and we are thinking about preparing an initiative where diaspora participation can be encouraged more. Okay. So there should be regional initiatives, packages, projects, so that the diaspora can easily participate. So what does Oromia region have for the diaspora? We know you guys are doing good for providing different services for the diaspora. The Oromia regional state is one of the best performing regional states in Ethiopia vis-a-vis the diaspora participation, I know. But can't we do more? I think we can. So what does the Oromia regional state provide for the diaspora? We are going to come and talk with your guys. We are going all over the country, and we are going to dig out other ventures of participation. So we have been working on it, and we are trying to introduce some other initiatives that can spring us up more.
Great. The Green Ethiopia Renaissance Dam is the national project that the diaspora is supporting for years for its construction. And what should be done to further strengthen such diaspora contributions?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is the 13th anniversary of the starting of the construction of the dam. It will be, I think, commemorated next week on the 24th Ethiopian calendar. So it's nice to talk about it during the exact time. Over the past 13 years, the diaspora has been doing a lot in terms of three things, just to give you an impression. One of the interventions the diaspora has been helping a lot with regards to the Ethiopian Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is knowledge and skill transfer. You might have seen the shift of opinion from left to right some 2-3 years ago, particularly when we started filling the dam. It was so huge. Ethiopia was pressurized from all corners. Even the issue of filling a dam has been a point of discussion in the UN Security Council quite a number of times.
Yeah.
So Ethiopian diaspora have been fighting this. They have been writing articles. They have been protesting it, that this is a non-issue to be discussed by the UN Security Council. It's not a security issue, it's a development issue. Ethiopia is building a dam on its river, on its soil, by a resource mobilized by itself from the shoeshine boy. Every Ethiopian has contributed for the construction of the dam. So it is illogical. It is perplexing for anyone to object a dam built by a country on its soil by its resource. So they tell the world this fact. They have written different articles. They have conducted different webinars. Those articles were around the world. They were on newspapers and other mainstream media outlets. So they have helped to change the opinion of the world, I believe. That's why the pressure is minimizing. As we can see, we are feeling the second, the third, and we're going to feel the fourth one. So one aspect of the diaspora is helping in terms of knowledge and skill transfer, both creating an awareness in the global sphere, and in addition to the people working around in the construction process, both the negotiators. The diaspora has been helping. The other one is resource mobilization. Over the past 13 years, the diaspora has mobilized over $50 million. You can calculate it. It should be more than 2 billion Ethiopian birr. So the diaspora is also doing a lot in terms of mobilizing resources. Most of this resource is mobilized either by buying bonds or by giving it as a gifts. They don't want to give it back. Just it's a gift for the country. It's a contribution. And the third one, I would say, which is a little bit related with the first one, is advocacy and public diplomacy. You remember how many No More movements have been conducted, how many rallies have been held, how many digital campaigns have been held in this regard, and how many statesmen, parliamentarians, and the likes have been challenged on this. Ethiopians all over the world, they have called their parliamentarians, their elected officials. They told them that Ethiopia is building a dam. Ethiopians, more than half of them, they are living in the darkness. We are building the dam to get most of our people from the darkness. Are you against this? So they are asking them that. So the people, when those public diplomacy, advocacy activities have been conducted, I think they must have come to their senses. They can't go forward. So that was not an easy task. It was a huge task to create awareness all over the world. And it helped us, it helped Ethiopians, it helped the country to focus on the practical job, building the dam, getting it done, getting it finished. Over 99% of it has been completed. I mean, over 95% of it has been completed. Almost, we have a little bit of the job to be completed. So the diaspora has been doing a lot. What we require from the diaspora is to redouble their effort. They have been doing a lot. They have done a lot, and we expect them more in terms of knowledge and skill transfer, what they have done it and what they have been doing it, in terms of resource mobilization, in terms of public diplomacy and advocacy. All of the activities are required from the diaspora. We are not finished. Even though we have 4 or 5% remaining, that is a huge task. It requires quite a huge amount of money. We don't know. The pressure may come back. We are enjoying the relative the pressureless time. We are building, we are holding the water, nothing is coming around. It could be because of the efforts of the diaspora plus what the government has done in multilateral and bilateral diplomacy. So it is both the effort of the government and the diaspora that has put us here in a comfortable place. But financially, a huge amount of money is needed to construct, to finalize the completion of the dam. So the diaspora knows it. Just a polite reminder.
Remind them,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, really. From your point of view, how will the national call for the second generation of Ethiopian diaspora impact the diaspora in engagements for the future?
So the idea behind the call of the second generation is that a nation is built by subsequent generations' efforts. And as I told you earlier, Ethiopia believes that the diaspora is a polity. They are Ethiopians living outside of Ethiopia. Ethiopia needs the potential of all segments of the diaspora. This time around, we have called the second generation. Next time around, we may call the investors, the academia, and the likes. So every diaspora segment has got a role to play, and they have to play it. They have played it. They have been helping their country a lot. I have mentioned in all terms, both in knowledge and technology transfer, in investment, and the likes. So they have done a lot, and they are expected to do a lot. So such calls, what do they tell? The calls show the potential of the diaspora. In a short period of time, quite a number of diaspora come, and they invest a lot in the country. The investment, not only money-wise, well, they spend money. They provide service sectors impetus for the economy. That's true. They also take assignment to what is to be done. They also contribute for the good of the country. So we are going to call or hold different kinds of homecoming calls in the coming times. So the diaspora has to wait vigilant to help the country to come home, to help their country, because Ethiopia is also theirs. Ethiopia belongs to Ethiopians. Ethiopians live here, and Ethiopians who live outside of Ethiopia. So we are one polity living in different geographical locations where we can contribute the same for the socio-economic development of the country. So this must tell everyone around the world that Ethiopia attaches due consideration to the diaspora in its all different aspects, segments. They have come in quite a large numbers. They have put their legacy. It will be told now and then. This time around, we are calling the second generation. So come home, help your country. Your country needs you. Don't hesitate to come.
Mr. Wondersen Girma, Communication Director at Ethiopian Diaspora Service, thank you for your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Dear viewers, that brings to the end of our program. Till next edition, have a wonderful time.